Andrey, it's great to see you today.
Thank you.
Andrey, you were the foreign minister of Russia between 1992 and 1996. You were also a two-time member of parliament. But in addition to that, you've recently written a book called Firebird, The Elusive Fate of Russian Democracy. And I was hoping we could chat for a few minutes today about what you saw. There's been a lot of discussion that NATO had an agreement with Russia in the 1990s when you were serving as the foreign minister that would not expand further east, the Warsaw Pact countries, or to the former Soviet republics. Is that true? Was there such an agreement?
To my knowledge, it's not true. We tried, when I was foreign minister, tried to find any trace of that in archives, and we failed. And Gorbachev, who was then the president of Russia and the Secretary General of the Communist Party, that is ruler of Russia, before us, he later denied having any kind of receiving any kind of this assurance. So, to my knowledge, it's total nonsense.
So Russia today, though, is a state that's outside of the norms. It's a country that's dealing with rogue regimes. And it has situations such as Viktor Bout, who's a private businessman who many accuse of actually having worked for the Kremlin. Do you think it's true that Bout was working on behalf of the Kremlin in international arms dealing?
I have no factual evidence, so I cannot say yes or no. But what I know for sure, that if somebody trades or traded the arms, the weapons from Russia, and actually in Russia, that would be controlled by the, at least by the security forces, by the army. The control over arms trade was never lost, and it was very strong in the Soviet Union. And the control, was still there all the time and is there all the time. So if somebody is accused of illegal trade, that does not mean, cannot just mean illegal from the point of view of the Russian situation. It could be illegal internationally, that to provide weapons to rogue regimes outside. But in Russia, it would be controlled and it would be well known and even directed by the government.
You knew Sergei Lavrov, I assume, the foreign minister of Russia. What is he like as a person? And do you think he's typical of Russian diplomats? Do you think that they know what they're saying is perhaps just not true?
Well, Lavrov was appointed my deputy and was my deputy. So I promoted him, and I valued him as a professional, which he is, and as a co-minded, so to say, because at that time of fast change and all that, I wouldn't tolerate just a professional diplomat as my deputy. I needed co-minded people. So what happened to him later on, today, it's total disgrace and total disaster, but I don't know why.
So let me ask you just one other question. There's often said that the Soviets and today the Russians only understand force. Would you agree with that statement?
Yes. Our government, we tried to be different because we wanted everything different in Russia, and in foreign policy, we wanted democracy and all that. But since our effort failed and democracy went no further than that, and in a dictatorial Russian government, you cannot expect any reaction to anything but force, and not only declared, but physically demonstrated force.
Andrey, if there is one thing you could tell the Ukrainian people or communicate to them via this interview, what would you like to say to them?
I can only express my admiration on their stamina, and I hope that they stay, and I hope that they win.
Andrey, I appreciate your time today. Thank you.
Thank you.